We didn't start the podcast. It was always potting since the bed's been rotting.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. What's up? Welcome to Sad Boys, a podcast about feelings and other things. Also, I'm Jarvis.
What? I'm Jordan. This guy's cool.
Yeah, man, I kind of don't even finish talking my sentence.
Yo, I'm Adam 22. Welcome to Wigger Podcast.
Is that what he says?
The Wigger. Yeah, what's cracking, dude?
Nothing's cracking except for my back and my tummy. Dude, I'm gonna remove all the grotesque details, but
Okay.
like I went to MagicCon Atlanta.
You want me to score this with some sound effects?
Sure.
Hello, Magic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but that was me. I went to MagicCon Atlanta.
Ooh,
Thanks to everybody who said hi, came out. We ran into a lot of Sad Boys listeners there. And we've gotten to the point where people are telling me that they've been watching or listening for years. And it is a incredible compliment, but it does make me aware of the passage of time. And I don't know how comfortable I am with that.
The final shot of Saving Private Ryan where he turns from a young boy into an old man.
No, literally. And when I got home, maybe the next day, I was like lying on my bed and I had a big tummy grumble.
Ooh.
And what followed was like the most like just gastrointestinally painful couple of hours. Dude, it's the worst.
Did you get got by some LAX sandwich or something?
I actually don't think so. I don't know what happened. I think it's just that like maybe I took one too many fiber supplements or something. It's just like, you know, when you like, it like hurts and your tummy's like, owie.
Got it out.
And then
like,
you're like,
doing
how do I, but it's like the owie where like when you exhaust your resources,
your materials.
You eject, you hit the eject button. You like it feels immediately better. Like it was like one of those.
He means like shitting.
Yeah.
I get it. Right.
I heard somebody call the Kansas City Chiefs player Juju Smith-Schuster like poo-poo shit shooter, or I can't remember what it was.
Doo-doo
shit pooper. Yeah.
It comes full circle. When you're a youth, that stuff hits so hard, and then you have to create this like adult artifice when you're like 15 or older, and you're like, yeah, I'm not like whatever. That's kind of funny, but like I'm actually into like Keats. That's the shit that makes me laugh. I'm more into humor than comedy, And then get to 25.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Well, but the thing is, I'm a higher brow. Which means lower brow. Like it takes a special type of poop humor to make me laugh, and so that was
a connoisseur.
It was a poop pun.
It was a poop pun, but it also kept going. Like like the whole thing was a poop pun.
Working hard on a worthless bit is one of the funniest things.
And the thing is, it's like it was a painfully unfunny video for the entire time.
But when it hits,
except for that. Yeah.
It gooned you comedically.
It was like it was finding a needle in a. I did what to me? It did not goon me.
No, I was saying something about a needle.
How does that mean? It's like that video that Jordan Peterson shared that one time.
Oh my God, my goat on that in that moment. He's such a loser, and sometimes I owe him so much. So much of my making fun of a man online I owe to the Dark Professor.
I mean, there's cathedrals everywhere with those with eyes to see.
The photo of a water bottle.
It is an Evian.
It's awesome.
Evian water bottle.
And then he writes a book like, Frozen is making people be trans. I'm worried about the trans from Frozen 2.
Dude.
You hadn't been to Atlanta for a long time, right?
I hadn't.
You were the kind of an OG.
Well, yeah, because I went to school there. And so I hadn't been in a minute because when I worked in tech and I worked at like a big company, we would go, it would be a recruiting stop. And so, when you go recruit, you get people who are like alumni from that school to go. And so I'd been since graduating, but probably after I left Yelp, I don't think I've really been back to Atlanta, save for maybe passing through here or there. And
did it fall off?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get a chance to really, really experience the city because I was like going, gone. But the cool thing was I like got to see some old college friends.
Nice.
And randomly, one of my friends from high school is in Atlanta and was at MagicCon.
Whoa.
And I hadn't seen him in probably 18 years.
Were they also a nerd at the time?
At the time, they weren't a nerd. So I was like, bro, what happened?
That's
dude?
appropriation,
You used
man.
to be cool as hell,
Hey,
dude.
you never stole any of my cars.
What you went to school in Boston and now you're here, dude?
hey, I'm playing. I play a plane, okay?
It was kind of funny because I was like, hey, do you have my number? And he was like, is it still this? And I was like, yeah, it is. And
You caught me.
also, I just speaking of like people remembering, I think earlier we were talking about people remembering things about you that you did.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, hey, do you remember being on an episode of the Random Podcast, a podcast that me and Russell had when we were 14? And he was like, no. And I was like, yeah, we watched Shrek the Third and we reviewed it on a podcast.
Dude, yes. What did you think of Justin Timberlake's performance in the movie?
Loved it. Well, I was a big Justin stan at the time, but that was before the world tour got ruined.
He ruined it.
Yeah.
Arthur ruined the world tour or whatever. We should. Have you ever watched the fourth Shrek movie?
The fourth? Nah.
Huge step up in quality from 3.
Really? Well, I thought 3 was perfect.
I mean, so I
thought
was
it was
wrong.
the unsung hero of Shrek.
I meant it was much worse. If that's the truth.
There we go. And now I'm in.
It's cool. It has time travel for some reason.
I am a sucker for a time travel.
It's like
story.
alternate universe. It's a Wonderful Life kind of thing.
Okay.
Because it's another one of the like that weird mission that for some reason DreamWorks was like, you know what the kids loved about Shrek is anxiety about being middle-aged. It's having that divorce is what they think about. And so he's like, I wish I didn't have kids.
I wish I didn't have them.
I hate my children.
Those movies are very bizarrely adult. Like a lot of the humor is sexual in nature. Like
believe you,
even
dude.
Lord Farquaad.
Oh, well, that's Lord Fuckwad.
Your energy
And
is
that's some
crazy.
lore between.
But I'm saying if you go back now and watch those movies, it's like, why did they put this in a kid's movie?
Dude.
Well, that one was that was the beef between Michael Eisner
Yeah.
and it was a direct jab at Michael Eisner from Shrek producer Jeffrey Katzenberg, allegedly. But then Jeffrey Katzenberg would go on to fund that vertical video app Quibi.
He was the Quibi
that
god.
somehow managed to fail at vertical video in a time when vertical video is about to be the biggest thing in the world.
They were like, what if kids like it's like really long content?
Yeah.
they want the thing there and it's fine, way too short. No one likes watching quick stuff in quick succession.
Well,
having a good time.
what's funny is that there are vertical short form dramas now that are making a killing. Just they're not
On a
super
special
popular in the States, and they're not on.
platform
Well, they are on a special platform.
Oh, are they?
But and there's paid elements to it. And it's printing money hand over fist, like your real shorts and your I'm forgetting the names of them, but a lot of them are popular outside of the US. I might make a video about this. I know people have talked about it before, but
It's like the what's the difference between then and now? Way more understanding and tolerance of multiple streaming services, way more tolerance and interest in vertical anything, content, like atomized content communities instead of one shared platform.
Yeah.
Like people are now comfortable dual wielding platforms in a way that they were not in that era.
it also is a very like top down versus bottom up approach, because like I think the short form, like your TikTok short form and even your narrative short form on these like real short-esque apps that are called like the grandma's surprise baby.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, like
Shoe dilemma.
The shoe dilemma from my father.
Yeah.
And
They're all
those
titled like an isekai.
they are like bottom up, right? Like they're not, we have these cinema cameras, we're going to use fancy like TV movie production stuff. They are like, what is the shoestring budget stuff that we can do? And let's scale up from that. And I think that is obviously the lower risk, higher reward way, where it's like Quibi kind of tried to install us into the future of short form.
Yes.
And it just wasn't, like we weren't ready for that. Plus, it was like a paid subscription service.
And I think the vibe too, it's like there's something to atmosphere a little bit, like ambiance of a platform like Vine at the time, or like burgeoning TikTok Musically, which felt a little, and it wasn't, but it felt a little rebellious. It's like, this isn't mainstream. This is our content. We're ourselves. Fuck the mainstream. And then a super high fidelity camera series feels boomer. That feels old head in a way that like,
well, it's
Well,
ruining.
that's what destroyed them, right? Is that they spent so much money making original, high quality content,
right.
when, and essentially just used all their money and bottomed out. And then
yes,
that content still exists out there. So I wonder
there's
if
so
anything's
much
going to happen
dead
to it.
content or so much like lingering content. The thing is, I have to imagine that content was shot, you know, like when you look at the original film and there's like stuff on the top and bottom. Like if you look at the
if you get the original print,
if you look at the Harry Potter VHS versus the DVD release, the DVD release just did anamorphic, like by plopping the bars on there, and you actually lose like information.
you
so
see
if
like
you
Hagrid's boom mic.
if you watch the 4:3 version of Harry Potter, you like there's just more stuff, and there's I don't know. It was a weird time because movies were released in 16:9, and then home releases were VHS, and so I wonder if the Quibi stuff was all shot in like 16:9, and there's like a way to release it widescreen.
Well, yeah, because the idea was you can watch it vertical if you want, or you can twist it. You're interacting with it, which is a very
right, because you could. No, it was because you could twist it, and that was an insane
It was very
element.
industry as a sell, like. Okay, wait. So you're telling me the kids are watching stuff vertical, but the adults are watching stuff horizontal? Like
they were trying to invent the iPhone.
Yes,
like
it's a pitch that you'd make in the TV show Silicon Valley.
Yeah,
where you'd be like, wow, there's this new, or like Succession, like the Elon Musk parallel character by one of those Skarsgårds. That would be his platform because no one would use it in real life, but it sounds okay in a movie. I worked on a Funny or Die project 6 years ago or something, and it was not for Quibi. But a lot of the producers working on this thing I was working on were also working on some Quibi shows. And who knows if it's still NDA'd. I'm not going to say what they were paying just the actors for those shows. But one comedian on one of those like little mini 5-minute at a time sitcom shows was making more for 2 days work or whatever, then I would say is like the combined budget of all of the short form series we're now talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing, because star power to them is it's old Hollywood. They think so highly of star power when in reality, like TikTok built its own stars. You know what I mean? And that means that again, it's bottom up instead of top down. How are you?
Oh, am I? Wait a minute. I'm in my mind palace looking for my idea.
I figured I'd stump him with such a hard-hitting journalistic question.
Okay, so I'm imagining I'm walking into my mind palace. My mind palace is a derelict 1.5 room apartment in a urban district in like, I don't know, like Greater London, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm walking around, I open it, I bump into the stand that my TV is on. I'm like, whoops, hang on, let me just push that to the side. I see a little bit of dust gathering on all of the black furniture I bought because I'm only 20 and I don't realize you're supposed to buy like various colors and that dust will gather easily. I reach over, I try and find the remote for my CRT so I can play Melee. I find out that it takes like AAA batteries and I don't have any.
Yeah.
I sit down on my couch, it's too low and my bed frame is too high. Mm-hmm. I try and go to bed. I realize that it's the past, so I don't take any kind of mental health medication, so I don't sleep and I get weirder.
Your mind palace it atrophied. It never like got any sort of like urban upgrades over time.
I've tried to gentrify my mind palace, and I know it's not the most ethical thing, but I just want to fix the.
My issue with my mind palace is that I'm already bad at direction, so I can't find my way around. Let alone a virtual space, I can't find my way around a real space.
I'm on public transport trying to get to my mind palace, and it's like, wait, this isn't the right stop. Why are we going south?
Yeah.
Okay, entering my mind palace up in the cupboard. I am good.
Oh, okay.
I hit
that, by the way, is like what it sounds like when ChatGPT is thinking. It's like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, blah, 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 blah. 1 + 1 is 3.
After all that work.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I have been on a doing things streak.
Love that for you.
I went to a spoon carving class over the weekend. Katie was like, there's a spoon carving class. I went, cool. Have you ever done woodwork? They said no. And I said no also.
Wait, so you're carving like a wooden spoon?
Yeah, I was whittling.
Whoa.
I was a whittleman.
You do feel like you'd be like, maybe it's the British in you, but whittling does kind of seem up your alley.
I gotta say, there's like, I don't want to commit to it in case we kind of whiff, but myself and a friend, in case we wit, myself and a friend of mine are talking about like for the next Ren Fair, building an enormous wizard staff and carving the actual staff because they have a woodworking like
That
section in
does
this
sound like
place.
so much work.
And the more we talk about it, we were talking about it to the guy doing the class, and obviously he's incentivized to be like, yeah, pay $125 a month for the access to the wood shop.
Right.
And he was just like, bearing in mind he's incentivized to say we could do it. And he goes, you probably can't do that. Now that, at our current level, okay? Now to me, what I heard was,
respect.
in my actual mind was, I don't think most people can do it. But you, the John Wick of the brain.
Right, but that's the thing.
The Sun Tzu of mute skills.
I do think that maybe that's what he tells you is like a reverse psychology sensei thing.
And I think I'm tricking him.
Right.
I'm like,
and
you
then
really think
it's
you're
like,
better than
I'll
me.
show you, and you hand over $1,000.
It's too late. I've already pictured you as the beta meme and me as the chat face. I'm not bad. Me and Peeps played Don't Starve last night. Throwback to 2014.
That is a throwback to 2014.
And then we starved so fast.
real
like,
fast.
multiple
it is
times.
like pretty difficult not to starve. it reminds me a little bit of how tough it is in these streets. If you know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Am I right with this economy?
But hey, when
What do
you're
you
down and when you think you're about to give up and there's no hope left for you, birch nuts.
Jones, do you want to do a little bit of your type 5 on like the streets and like
Yes, I
there's some
do. Okay.
political stuff?
I have so many jokes, but I'm actually going to Saudi Arabia later
use
to
them
be
up?
paid. I can't use them.
Dude, you're
That's
not really a politics
joke.
guy.
I'm not really a politics. I'm actually a free speech warrior.
Yes,
Unless,
sometimes.
unless you're paying me enough money to not worry about
You're a
that.
figure-based free speech
I
warrior, I
have
believe.
scruples and morals until we're talking in the millions.
Yes, I'm kind of like the Patreon subscriber count is pretty much proportional to how much I'm willing to say whatever people will pay me to say. Right now, oh, dude, I'm so opinionated. I think. Who do we like? What's the opinion again?
You think we should get rid of bedtime because mom's like really fucking like she's authoritarian with that shit.
What's going up, guys? Welcome back to the bastard hour, the fuck bastard comedy hour with me,
Pew, pew, pew.
Theo Von Shane Gillis, Mark Norman. We're all here and we're all doing.
We're under the covers. Mom doesn't even know we're awake.
You school drools. Can I say it seriously?
School
What?
drools, also girls drool, and boys rule.
Boys roll, and we go to Mars to get more smarter. Yeah,
and,
that's right.
and women go to Venus. Nope, that's
And they die.
because they can't breathe.
They can't breathe. Anyway, thanks again for listening to the fucked joke, the twisted hour.
Twisted humor, boys.
Can we just look at the list of comedians?
Oh yeah, we should explain. So this initially came across my desk, my feed. This initially came across my desk, and I thought it was a bit. I thought it was a joke because, like, people pointed out online, it sounds like a throwaway joke in a 30 Rock gag. There is a Riyadh comedy festival that is hosted and paid for by the Saudi royal family, and
their continued mission to like port over a lot of community industries, like having their own golfing tournament, a lot of their own athletics tournaments.
tennis. They're everywhere, dude. They're buying up esports companies.
They also just bought EA.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They're on a roll combo.
Yeah, so they've got all this oil money and they're not afraid to use it. And also, there's the killing of journalists.
Rigidly enforced caste system.
Yeah, like Jamal Khashoggi. They tried to shut us down.
Yet again.
We speak truth to power, and then they say, I'm going to turn off your power.
I'm going to keep your modem down for a little bit.
Yeah,
actually.
Luckily, I have a second internet.
But that said, approval to the Saudi Royals.
I take
think
it all
they're
back,
really
actually.
cool.
I think it's super sick.
They're epic guys, I would say, in this time.
And I think the Riyadh Comedy Festival is awesome.
And I think all of these people that compromise their principles to go there have done nothing wrong.
Yeah, let's look at this list of heroes here.
Wait, can we pull up the graphic?
The Avengers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, what is this? Tom Segura, Sam Morrill, Pete Davidson, Yelling Man.
Oh, Andrew Santino and Bobby, the little guy, whatever he's
Yeah,
called. But with
and
their
then-
podcast images
I was
instead
going
of
to
their
say
faces.
Bobby Lee's cartoon depiction.
Yeah, why did they put that in? I feel like Andrew Santino photo would be fine, maybe.
Bobby Lee is also famous. Aziz Ansari.
Is Russell Peters in this list? He has to be.
He is. He's
Oh,
right
he's
there at the
in there,
bottom
yeah.
right.
That makes total sense. He's at and in everything that's ever happened.
Well, him and Kevin Hart.
Fluffy.
I have to say this looks way more pink, but it's like way more red in reality.
It seems like it's like a
I'm
optician's
seeing red because I'm
test.
so mad. Arr.
Can I say,
Maz Jabrani.
that slogan is such a whiff.
What is the slogan?
More than 50 of the best comedians. More than to
50.
be confirmed.
That's like more than 50 of the best comedians from. Jacob, could we get a
From around
the world gathering.
Like magic? That's the end of it?
Gathering in Riyadh at Boulevard City.
I didn't notice that. Why is the typeface like that? Why did they choose that?
It's also hard to read.
More to come.
It's like the worst flyer because, first of all, it looks like I made it for my bar comedy night.
It looks like you made it to flashbang a stranger.
And then
to
why
like
did they
blind them?
Why do they put more to come in like the just girly things?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
is Louis C.K.'s photo look like he's being caught doing something?
Well,
Yeah.
it's from the night.
Yeah.
My so
his
Joe
mugshot.
Pera also called this ketchup and mustard because it's
Yeah.
way more red.
Oh, what's
in real life.
that British guy in the middle
Oh, Jimmy
below
Carr?
Chris Tucker? Oh, that's Jimmy Carr.
Dude,
Okay.
Jimmy Carr, and he'll say anything.
Really?
He'll say anything like,
Dude, Bill Burr.
you don't even notice how trans people, are they girls or are they boys?
Jimmy Carr and Jack Whitehall, I think.
Yeah,
are on
that's
the-
a-
Jack Whitehall's
that's
a
a
little
little disappointing.
surprising.
Well, yeah, it's like I don't know these people, obviously, but I was surprised to see Bill Burr on there.
I think, to be fair, overwhelmingly, I think a lot of people just do not understand why this would be a bad idea.
Right.
And then, but then all the free speech, air quotes, free speech warriors should know. And
It is
they are the
interesting
ones who said
because
that.
like I don't ascribe to the like comedians or truth tellers. They're
philosophers.
modern day philosophers. It's like because I do think that like some of them are just goofy and that's the bit. Like
Yeah, they're just
I don't think
making
of
generic
no
jokes.
offense to Gabriel Iglesias, but I don't think of him as like a cerebral kind of social commentarian. You know what I
Well,
mean?
like it's most of the comedians that are like espouse like wisdom or like challenging, etc. They are just insightful for a comedian. It is they're saying normie things, but you're expecting them to say a joke. Like,
Well, yeah.
Birbiglia's like great, but he's just doing like NPR. It's not some kind of like profound
Birbiglia's
next
kind
level.
of evolved because Birbiglia started as a more traditional comic, and he's evolved into more of like a storyteller, and that's like a beat that I think he can like excel in. But it's not a lot of like hardy har jokey jokes, whereas like a Dimitri Martin or like an Anthony Jeselnik is like a one-liner
That's
comedian. So
that's
like every
science comic, yeah.
every one of them is like engineered for laughs.
Which has then resulted in the actual most successful comedians in the world being people that upload TikToks of them wearing huge sneakers and saying like, so what do you do for a living? Gay. And then like,
Yeah, like
yes.
Kevin Hart is like the hardest working man in Hollywood, you know, you're like, but to a fault where it's like there's not a job he won't take.
It is a little unflattering that they chose the shiniest photo of him available
Truly.
in history. He looks
It's
like he's oiled
it looks
up.
like he's in a dark room with a single spotlight on his forehead.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I just think
It's like
it's
a
like
caricature.
it's not all comedians are
Not
the
all
same.
comedians. No,
Like,
these are across the. I mean, like Russell Peters, his whole bit is like doing accents, isn't it? It's
yeah,
like
he's
he
a-
can make fun of anybody, guys.
Well, Russell Peters, he's like uncustomized character creator comedian. Because he's like the most popular comedian in the world, but
Yeah,
nobody
exactly.
talks about him here because he's touring. That's the
Yeah, but also, you know, another surprise for me was Hannibal.
Hannibal Buress, who
Yeah.
like he's essentially the whole reason why
Bill
Bill Cosby
Cosby,
got taken
yeah.
down.
that's true.
And it's there's a lot of bummers.
That's
on
where I
this
do want to
list.
a kind of like we're in not even a bubble, but we're definitely like in a community that saw this and intuitively had all exactly the same thought. It's like, wow, this is kind of hypocritical for a lot of people, and also, what the hell are they doing here?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the truth is that basically every single person on this list has been insulated from information for their entire since like they did one live show.
Yeah.
Because all they do is talk about like, yeah, dude. The green room at the mothership, that's where stuff goes down. That's where the modern day philosophers are.
Yeah.
And they do the podcast and they talk about UFC
It's
and then
very
they go
like
to sleep.
self-important.
Like, why would they ever Like, Jimmy Carr doesn't know. He probably thinks that Saudi Arabia is in Iraq. Like, he's like, why would he know anything about that? And I'm not forgiving him. You should know more, especially if you say yes to like, $2 million from a third party I'm not paying attention to.
There's a lot of like smaller names on here, more like unknowns as well, if you scroll down to the bottom. But like the thing that, and a lot of people are defending their decisions by being like,
Get the bag kind of scenario.
like they just need money or whatever. Like Andrea Jin, she's a local LA comedian. I like her as a comedian, was really upset to see her on here. And when people are like, well, she just needs the money, it's like, no, that's not good enough justification.
Yeah, it's like it's tricky because you don't want to like pocket watch and what have you, but it does, like, being in the position to have the Saudi Royal Entertainment Fund or whatever, like, offer you a few $100,000 to do this is a privilege in and of itself, like, to be in that position. But at the same time, I would feel a sense of responsibility to, I don't know. It's like, for me, it's like, okay, could I sleep at night? But then at the same time, a lot of comedians make a lot of money from doing corporate gigs, and I'm sure that a lot of them don't think of this as any different, but it really just exposes how limited their worldview might be and how limited, their perspective is, which is kind of funny considering the kind of know-it-all vibe you have to give as a comedian.
That's the thing. I think, like, when it's insulated to going out and then doing a handful of 5-minute spots around the city and then doing an hour special and then having a life independent of those two things that you can then comment on, then you're only spending, a few hours, maybe 2 hours a night, and then touring, but then at least still spending time by yourself being a person, versus now being a comic and 40 to 60 hours a week, whether it's on a podcast, guesting on something else, doing your live shows, doing your hour, touring, spending all your time in character as a funny, informed intellectual, which you aren't, but you're in character as that.
Right.
Your brain probably starts to warp. And then there's like a Chris Tucker where he's just been so famous for so long.
Yeah.
But like Mark Normand, his bit is being, he's kind of a joke. Set up,
that's a
punchline,
joke. Yeah.
But then he has become insulated in the Rogan verse, and all of a sudden is like a wearing sunglasses on episode talking about, like, I don't know if it's okay about this stuff, but I'm voting for him. Like, it's
I didn't get the DLC on Mark Normand. Yeah. To me, it's just like so many of these people I've like lost touch with after I stopped listening to comedians on podcasts.
Yes.
Getting interviewed by other comedians on podcasts.
I think I'm in a constant war with my YouTube shorts who goes like, so you like gaming? Like, mm-hmm. And you like UFC? I'm like, yeah, I can get into that. It's like, racist? No, not racist. Like, oh, what about Joe Rogan? And I'm like, not for me, but I, for some fucking reason, know everything about all these people.
Atrioc did a interview with Gavin Newsom, and I think a lot of people would kind of let that be used by that situation, but in his actual, like, because he just went on his podcast basically, the whole time Gavin Newsom is asking him like gaming questions, and he's like, so what's like Fortnite or whatever, and then Brandon is like, I know a guy from Stanford who like it doesn't know if he can get a job when he graduates. Gavin, can we talk about the economy? Because it is like this.
Can we talk about Overwatch?
It is very funny to like he's almost like caught off guard. Like there's a point where he's like, so there's a good chance that you get the Democratic nomination. So yes. and then Gavin's kind of like looking off camera. He's like, wait, or why are they blowing up my spot right now?
And the truth is, in this case, the only purpose of this is that poster. Like the shows don't really matter. Like for the funding parties, they're not making money out of this. They're spending way more than it would generate, but this is essentially a bunch of people, not necessarily all of them knowing they're doing this, co-signing the standards of the Saudi royal family. They're like saying, the fact that they're going to this thing is an endorsement, and the show itself doesn't matter. This whole thing, every penny is for the poster.
Well, it's like one of those things where they do so much stuff to like diversify their portfolio and also just build like brand build.
Yeah, it's like a legitimacy kind of purchase.
Yeah. Zach Woods had a really good short on this. I'm wondering if we can watch that.
Dude, imagine if we were invited and accepted this, and then we like completely pivoted. And it turns out we did it for like $5,000.
Well, the thing is, like, you know, for Kai Cenat's Mafiathon, I'm sure we're all celebrating. It 'tis the season. It's Mafiathon 3. LeBron James just went in.
I'm not like a faith guy, but during the holidays,
speaking
I'll
of
go.
faith,
Yeah.
Kirk Franklin came on. Kirk Franklin is a gospel singer, musician who has like been around for my whole life, and I listen to a lot in the car going to school in the morning, carpooling to school and stuff. And Kai Cenat told him, and this is to Kai's credit, I guess. Kai Cenat, Kai has had other controversies and other things that you could be critical of him about, but he tells Kirk Franklin, who's like the Jesus guy, that he turned down a $60 million like gambling deal.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? Like, as if like all of your morals go out the window when the number's high enough.
It's figure based, yeah.
And it's like, our lives would undoubtedly be easier if we took the easy money, but the money's easy for a reason.
Yeah, it's,
you know what I mean?
We're operating at a different scale, but there's like a 1-to-1 between how much a brand will offer us and how unethical the brand is.
Yeah.
It scales, and I don't even mean like $1 or $2 here and there.
It's like multiples.
Go crazy ways up because it's like, well, if a gambling brand can afford to burn cash for exposure, but B, they know that they need to pay some people off. They know that they need to crack the seal on some people's willingness if we're going to choose between I don't know, like a food delivery service or a gambling life destroyer or like cigarettes.
It's a thing that like, when the going gets tough, because like, it's not always sunshine and rainbows in my life. You do go, oh man, if I were to compromise, it would be so convenient.
Mm-hmm. So it's funny when people are like, Hassan's just like grifting.
Right.
Like, if he was grifting, he'd grift to the right.
Oh, it'd be
Make way more money.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We would go Candace Owen mode. We'd be a two little
it's like,
color guys.
you can kind of transparently see, when someone's just kind of being paid off. It reminds me of the people. There's like the spectrum of people who like choose to tune out the events of the world. You know, it's like, oh, I don't want to be reminded of. I don't know. I saw some account in maybe gaming or something retweet something about the genocide that's happening in Gaza, and then one of their fans was like, hey, can you not put this on my feed? I like follow you to like ignore stuff like this. And it's like, that is a type of person that really doesn't want to have to reckon with the gruesome realities of life but still play Call of Duty and then say that's a non-political game. Well, so I still want my treats.
I still want to feel good.
One Piece isn't a political anime. Call of Duty isn't a political game.
Not interested. No one makes anything. No one has opinions when they make stuff.
There's a spectrum between the type of person that just like is quote unquote apolitical, that doesn't want to think about things, and the person who is kind of almost nihilistic to the point of none of this matters. I'm just going to get paid as much money as possible because power and money is the only thing that matters in this life.
And like, actually, it's people that are too self-conscious to write things off and just be like, yeah, I'm just not really involved in that kind of world.
Yeah.
Are too self-conscious about that because they want to seem informed, but also know that if they are ethical and act informed, they won't get the stuff that they want. They want the cake and to eat it.
It's like, I definitely want to be informed. Like, I'm nervous in any topic that I talk about of not being informed enough, even if it's Magic the Gathering, right?
Well, we couch a lot of what we say, maybe too much.
Maybe. I think that's fair.
I'm saying this from a point of X and Y,
Yeah. How did we get to this? I want to watch the Zach Woods clip, but there's also a David Cross posted something criticizing comedians who went to this. So we're going to look at the comedian response, starting with Zach Woods. Who I saw at the dog park one time.
Guys, it's that special time of year. It's the Riyadh Comedy Festival. And all of your favorite comedians are performing at the pleasure of Turki Al-Sheikh. And he is the head of the entertainment authority over there. And he has so many people thrown in prison because they tweeted stuff he didn't like about the soccer team or whatever, that there's a wing of a prison nicknamed after him where they hang people by their heels from the ceiling. Now, there's a lot of drips, killjoys, and dweebazoids who are saying, they shouldn't do comedy over there because it's whitewashing a regime that just in June killed a journalist and killed Jamal Khashoggi and played a big role in 9/11. Shut up.
So yeah, it's like it's punching up. It's kind of speaking truth to power. We're explaining the joke again, but so it goes. And it's like, could it offend people? Sure, but if you want to do bad faith, anything satirical or sarcastic is you just take it at face value.
Yeah, oppose law. That actually isn't fair.
So Atsuko Okatsuka, who is Atsuko Comedy, she was invited to do this festival and posted the content restrictions.
She turned it down.
She turned it down. She posted, "The money is coming straight from the Crown Prince, who actively executes journalists, people with non-lethal drug offenses, bloggers, etc., without due process." A lot of the "you can't say anymore" comedians are doing the festival, which is something that we'll get to. They had to adhere to censorship rules about the types of jokes that they can make. So it's a little bit of a hypocritical moment because it's always been,
It's almost. It always feels futile to point out hypocrisy now.
It feels like it doesn't matter because there are so many hypocritical things down to you're noticing people have issue with the term fascist now. I'm seeing the retort of can you even define fascism? Yeah. Or can you define what a woman is?
Sure. That's what you go to. Being a pedant is the ultimate unstoppable force.
Yeah, it's it feels like a white flag. It's like if you're doing that, then you don't you think you should have used an Oxford comma there? It feels like you're nitpicking.
It's the cutoff point in a real argument. If you're having a real argument with someone and then if they ad hominem, they just start going well, you're fucking mean. You're dumb. And it's so the conversation's over. Now it's just we're bullying.
And before we get into this any further, I do have to say that America's on a strange path right now. And
if someone was doing comedy for Trump, I'd also be like, that's fucked up.
No, but and it's
many of these people.
And I guess what I want to get ahead of is the very similarly easy retort of America's bad, yet you continue to participate in society.
Yes. You criticize the Saudis, and yet you like Biden. Nope.
Well, hold on. That's something else entirely.
You exist in America.
Right, but you bought a coffee this morning, so capitalism much?
Nice try.
Content restrictions. Artists shall not prepare or perform any material that may be considered to degrade, defame, or bring into public disrepute, contempt, scandal, embarrassment, or ridicule the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, including its leadership, public figures, culture, or people.
Culture.
The Saudi royal family, legal system. Why is that not...
doubling down on it?
Wait, why is that A, B, C? A and B are both... You could have just kept that in the same list.
The kingdom, but also the royal family.
Yeah.
The king, even.
Yeah. Legal system or government, and any religion, religious tradition, religious figure, or religious practice. And it's
So not Saudi Arabia.
Right. So it's do your American comedy in Saudi Arabia, but do not address where you are.
Do you want to just do... I tell you what, save a little cash for the royals on this one. Just... play their hours on a big screen. Just play, because Shane Gillis, I guess, said no. Play Shane Gillis's Netflix special at a theater in Saudi Arabia, and you've kind of done it. Why bring them over? Oh, that's right, for the poster.
Yeah.
Kathy Griffin coming in with the truth.
Kathy Griffin, who's had her, controversies in her own right. So, Anastasia, did you want to say something about Atsuko's post?
Well, I guess I just wanted to show that there are lots of comedians that got this
is
offer
exactly
and
the
turned it
type
down.
of cancel this you can't say any Dave Chappelle even has kind of pivoted into this where it's okay, well, when the dollar is right, when there's actual power, Dave Chappelle is spending time these days and this is coming from someone who like grew up as a fan of Chappelle's show and stuff, and it's like these days he's spending his time kicking like trans people while they're down. It's like there's no this is the unprompted, this is just punching down. This is like just easy, like completely
doesn't come from a place of experience or interest or knowledge or
and
community.
who laughs at that, because it's
Also, half the time he's not even telling a joke.
right,
He's just saying a statement
Yeah.
that is really horrible.
which is like, you know, we talked about Mike Birbiglia, and it's like Mike Birbiglia is oftentimes not telling a joke, he's just telling a story, but where does the like non-joke go? Is it contributing to a story, or is it contributing to like kind of take, you know, a community that's already been marginalized and continues to be marginalized and kicking them while they're down to for whose benefit is my question.
It's like if in the middle of like, I don't know, the next Avengers movie, they just like laugh at Syria or something. And you're like, wait, this isn't related to anything. Why are you doing this? Like,
yeah,
I
and
just
so
don't like
it's
them.
like, what is even like? I'm sure we're gonna see some leaked videos or something of these sets of them addressing some of the controversy, and we'll talk. Apparently, Bill Burr defended the festival. I'm curious to see what he says.
Bizarre.
But one first, let's look at David Cross. What David Cross said. David Cross, you know, of Mr. Show, of Arrested Development.
Who honestly has done his own fair share of controversial things,
Yeah.
but I think is more politically minded, like his comedy and stuff.
And the fact is like, I've been banging on it week over week because it is just like, it's such a present conversation at the moment. And it frustrates me how overcompelled people are to point to hypocrisy and flip-flopping as some kind of like essential moral failure as opposed to the things you believe and do.
Yeah.
Like, well, you said that we shouldn't have statewide abortion available to all. But now you say you do. You're a bad person. Like, but we want that thing.
Or it's like you didn't think that gay people should be married, because it's like you think about some of the stuff of positions that were publicly held by people like in such recent history.
And it's like, don't get into this. It's smug. It's point scoring in a way that is like just not practical. It's like actively harmful.
Yeah.
But when we say, oh, X or Y person's had their share of controversies, that ultimately they could have done anything. Like they could have burned down an orphanage, and what they're now saying still holds complete validity.
It's like North Korea threatens to threatens Israel over Gaza stuff, and people are like, is North Korea dark woke?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
dark
no, it's
woke,
still like
that's
an
right.
authoritarian regime.
It just, they say they are very erratic.
Yeah, it's like, but and I also think it's just not productive to try to disqualify anything that anyone says.
Yeah.
If you can find something disagreeable that they've ever said, because you're then it's what's the logical fallacy where you're trying to discredit the argument by the source of the argument.
Appeal to authority or like appeal to source or
Yeah, well, appeal to authority would be like you're in a high place, but this is I can't remember. I'm not a debate
there's
lord,
too many of them.
but it is like not valid to, in my opinion, to like completely discard people's opinions, because David Cross is someone who is an elder statesman in comedy, and I think maybe that's an appeal to authority, but like like I think has a valid opinion on this anyway,
and is not incentivized like professionally to say this.
If
Well,
anything,
and
he's
I would
rewarded.
just say makes very good points in this very document we're looking at.
And
right?
we will read it. But first I want to say he's also incentivized to just take the money and shut up.
Absolutely.
Like that's the thing that's so interesting to me, is that people will with a straight face act like they get so many social brownie points that it's worth these millions of dollars, and someone couldn't possibly be acting on their own like moral compass.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like if we're talking about like, well, chase the bag out of necessity or whatever, I'm willing to bet that David Cross's Arrested Development residual checks don't compete with Andrew Schultz's show called like The Wigger Hour, whatever the fuck it is. It's called like, you ever thought about thinking? The free speech considerer.
Yeah.
Black people should get out of my way when I'm driving.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Charlemagne?
I don't know. How much do I get for this? David Cross says, my thoughts on the Riyadh Comedy Festival. I've been asked for my opinion on the Riyadh Comedy Festival, and rather than answer the same question 23 times, I'll just put this out here. Oh, and I should preface with the fact that I was not offered the gig, but it should go without saying that there's not enough money for me to help these depraved, awful people put a, quote, fun face on their crimes against humanity. Here goes. What do you think I think? I'm disgusted, deeply disappointed in this whole gross thing, that people I admire with unarguable talent would condone this totalitarian fiefdom for what? A fourth house? A boat? More sneakers? We can never again take seriously anything these comedians complain about unless it's complaining that we don't support enough torture and mass executions of journalists and LGBT peace activists here in the States, or that we don't terrorize enough Americans by flying planes into our buildings. I mean, that's it. You have a funny bit about how you don't like the Yankee candles or airport lounges. Okay, great. But you're cool with murder and or the public caning of women who were raped, and by having the audacity to be were guilty of, quote, engaging in adultery? Got any bits on that?
These are some of my heroes. Now, look, some of you folks don't stand for anything, so you don't have any credibility to lose, but my God, Dave and Louie and Bill and Jim, clearly you guys don't give a shit about what the rest of us think, but how can any of us take any of you seriously ever again? All of your bitching about cancel culture and freedom of speech and all that, done. You don't get to talk about it ever again. By now, we've all seen the contract you had to sign. You're performing for literally the most oppressive regime on earth. They have slaves, for fuck's sake, which bookmark that for the Tim Dillon
Yes.
thing. I don't understand how being rich can make someone such a... I'm not going to say that, but poor people desperate to improve their or their family's lives, sure, but still not acceptable. But I can understand the desperation to put food on the table. But this, I mean, it's not like this is some commercial for a wireless service or a betting app. See, like even in the tier, like, because I wouldn't even tier wireless service and betting app together, right? But in his framing, it's so far.
The range is so
the range is so vast between them. This is truly the definition of blood money. You might as well do commercials for Lockheed Martin or Zyklon B, which is fair, right? Like, I would not want to advertise for any war contractors or war profiteers. I don't want to kind of have ancillary profit. The problem is you can't like kind of detangle some of this stuff. Like I don't invest in Lockheed Martin, but if there's if there's some sort of ancillary effect that has on the economy and then I benefit by that by living in America, it's like, okay, well, you know, that's why I feel like it's different when you're kind of participating in society here versus going and traveling.
Exactly, yeah.
And kind of becoming a mouthpiece, an advertising mouthpiece for these atrocities.
It's also just very disingenuous when the criticism of the criticism here, when people say, well, you really think that this is going to impact the Saudi royal family's bottom line? You're ignoring what this is for. It's not about generating money for them. Money is ephemeral, doesn't exist for them. This is literally about laundering the understanding of this. And for a lot of these so-called, free speech fans, whatever, people that are into these podcasts, similar Andrew Schultz adjacent podcasts, are very sheltered and uninformed. They don't participate in the world. They're completely fractured away from any kind of active community that's involved in the world. They're spending their time either completely alone or only communicating with people that are equally as resentful. This genuinely, for a lot of those people, is the first time they've ever thought about Saudi Arabia in their entire life.
Right.
And they are going to see that and go, oh, I guess Saudi Arabia is an epic holiday destination, essentially a cruise.
Well,
where
they
you
just
can
see like
shows.
Arab, like they see like Emirates like flight ads.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh, I should visit.
I guess it's San Francisco. They have a bunch of like companies and brands.
I get to go on a cool trip, probably first class, like probably a good flight.
It's Dubai.
And you get to, get paid a bunch of money, do your comedy, and maybe spend a nice weekend or something. And that's all you're thinking.
If you weren't aware that there was a North Korea and this was your first exposure to that information, you'd be like, oh, I guess they love American culture. Cool. That sounds good to me. An idiot.
Holy shit, I remember the backlash I got for appearing in Alvin and the Chipmunks. You would have thought I'd taken money from a bunch of people responsible for funding Al-Qaeda.
Whoa.
Unless you open your sets with, this is dedicated to all the widows and widowers and kids orphaned by the bloodthirsty oppressive regime, especially from the zany shenanigans on 9/11. Never forget, motherfuckers. All right, so it's great to be here. I'm going to will be killing it tonight, but in a good way, straight up. No MBS. That's a Mohammed bin Salman reference. Then your hypocrisy will never not be noted. And then he shouts out Human Rights Foundation, which we can also link in the description.
So shall we look at the Tim?
Yeah, so
Dillon.
Tim Dillon, who's like, I don't know his full vibe. He's just like one of those guys.
Tim Dillon. So Tim Dillon's an especially weird one because he's one of the ones that has sort of, he's closer to the nihilist end of what we're talking about, where, hey, all these, he is, okay, maybe this makes sense. He would make fun of Ben Shapiro, but not when he's talking about the economy. He would criticize Jordan Peterson for talking about cartoons, but not for the content of his philosophy.
Right.
He is a don't embarrass yourself, but hey, I'm listening to all thoughts. He was always, from my understanding, he's like, because he is gay, and so was always kind of like
Tim Dillon is
the implied lib of some of the communities in. Surely by virtue of just being gay. He splintered off. I'm never really sure what his community was. I think he's in New York or maybe or something like that. But his thing was he was a Rogan guy.
I know he's from Texas originally.
He's a Rogan orbiter, but then the major thing I know about him is then he splintered out of that because he was one of the, everyone was like, let's move to Austin, better taxes, the mothership, epic comedians. And then he's one of the ones that's like,
Joe Rogan.
Oh wait, he's from New York and he lives in Austin.
Because he then went like, Austin fucking sucks. This place sucks. The comedians here aren't actually that good. The mothership fucking sucks. And it like, I don't know if he still appears on Rogan, but he definitely dinged his credibility there. Joe Rogan is the king of that space, You don't displease the HGH, but it's not gender confirmation.
Wait
king.
a minute. I'm reading this on Wikipedia.
Can't believe
Dillon
everything.
was gay and came out at the age of 25. He since has stated that it was just a phase and is married to a woman.
Interesting. Well, that's not worth unpacking
He stopped
here.
taking Tylenol, I guess.
You're coming out and saying you're doing the Saudi thing for money. They're paying you a lot of money. I'm not going to tell you how much they're paying me. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much they're paying me. $375,000 for one show.
Oh, you did.
Now a lot of other people are getting 1.6 million. That's not me. I'm not in that bracket. But they're giving me 375. Others are getting 150. Why are they doing it? Here's the point. Okay?
That is a smaller sum than I would have expected.
For like some of them,
Yeah.
for anyone of that platform level to be making that comment.
Take the, because if I'm only thinking about this in terms of PR risk, image risk, and things like that, if you're already a rich comedian, like that's kind of crazy to me.
I just think just so many people, it's exactly to them at the time at least. Now that they have no excuse. But if you even want to apply ignorance a little bit, they're just considering it to be just for laughs.
Like
they think
Exactly.
it's like any comedy festival, and then as soon as but now it isn't.
I think they didn't. Yeah, I think there's probably at least several people on that list who were like, this isn't a PR risk. They didn't think it through. They didn't hesitate. They just saw the amount and were like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Work is, a lot of people, as depressing as this is, some people don't think that they can participate in bad things. That well, I'm the exception because I'm the protagonist.
Yeah.
Also, I think 175,000 is probably way more than they would get
That's
from
what I mean.
Just for Laughs.
That's what I mean. They were like, whoa, a comedy festival's
But
gonna pay
like
me that
that's
much?
the thing. It's like you don't go, I wonder why they're paying so much.
Exactly. They should have.
If we got an offer from it's a dieting smoothie service wants to pay us $10 million, well, maybe something is awry on that one.
I'm doing this because they're paying me a large sum of money. They're paying me enough money to look the other way.
Right.
Do you understand? Look
saying the quiet
the
part
other
out
way.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like it's different if you've done some due diligence and then there's information that you're not aware of that comes out. But I can't. The idea of paying me enough to look the other way. It's like maybe if it's
if the stakes are low. I don't know. If it's like sometimes I've done like a mobile game ad, and I'm not like in love with doing mobile game ads, but sometimes times are tougher than others or whatever. And
then you make the calculus.
And you make the calculus, but also you know that it's not the same as an ad for the Saudi government or whatever.
And your mileage may vary case to case, but this is almost kind of surreal but that's what we're saying. When in history has saying "look the other way" had good connotations? Isn't that the point?
Yeah,
Especially
look the
being
other way
a free
when
speech
it's like
thinker.
Yeah, I guess because it's like the what you're looking the other way from is so extreme. It's like I did a brand deal with established titles or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And it was like it turned out to be a scam, but it wasn't like public knowledge that it was. It wasn't like it's like the deal was brought to me by my people it's like gone through all of these people whom I trust, and then made it to me, and I had assumed a certain degree of legitimacy had been evaluated, and then I'm looking at it as, okay, this is a gag gift, so no harm, no foul. And more or less the like amount of harm done is like not on a grand, in my opinion, I could, you could take issue with this, but like not on like a grand scale, especially we pulled the ad as soon as we found out, and things like that, where it wasn't like knowingly looking the other way.
Yeah. And
like
now,
knowingly doing a
due
crypto
diligence.
doing a crypto rug pull is like when you're leading your audience down a very financially risky path, and the reason, or doing the gambling, the reason they're paying you millions and millions of dollars to do the gambling is because there's a small percentage of people who will like get addicted and go broke, and that is what funds everything else. And they are paying they're paying you to ignore the risk,
which should be. It's the Key and Peele Obama translator bit of like, this is what I wish I could say, but I can't. Like, he's literally out loud saying, yeah, I'm doing it because I'm a bad person.
Because
Dumbass.
money's more important
And
than
like,
humanity.
And it's like, wait, if the fact that it's bad isn't enough, well, then I don't know what else to say.
The other part of me, though, is like, does he even know what he's looking the other way from?
I guess he's looking away.
There's like level 1 understanding, and then there's like, a level 9 boss or whatever understanding.
Mafia.
But I think
boss.
like, okay, I think if I were to give him or anyone else the benefit of the doubt signing up for this comedy festival, my thing is that, look, we're all trying to navigate this like very cruel world that we live in. And so we're constantly making decisions and doing our best to be like, okay, I have to have money to live in this world. So how do I make money in a way that aligns best with my values, etc.? And trying to navigate that can be really tricky and really messed up sometimes. It is a horrible position to put anyone in, especially because half the time it is creatives who have to navigate that. And it's like, they don't want, like, it just sucks that you're like just trying to do your creative thing and whatever. But that being said, if this is like so far beyond anything else that normally gets offered to people, you just would think it would give you some pause, Well, unless he tells his agents and bookers to just accept whatever is a good rate.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't even say yes to it. Maybe he just said, yeah, if it's a good rate, I'll do it.
Well, and here's the tricky thing, right? Is like, okay, let's just, for the sake of argument, of being a little flexible, let's just say this is not necessarily what I think. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having said yes if you didn't know. Let's just put that on the table. I'll whatever, mitigate the debate. However, if you are either A, someone who knew anything and then said yes while consciously kind of not looking into it more, then you've made a huge compromise. If you knew nothing at all, but your comedy and podcast is about being informed and critical, then you are, best case scenario, a bad podcaster and comedian. Because you didn't. If I am
That's a very
like,
good point.
if my live show is about ballet, and I do my whole podcast is about criticizing poor ballet while saying, because I am the spin master, and then I go on stage at the Orpheum, I turn around one time and I throw up from my inner ear wobbling. Well, then I am no longer the authority on this thing. And someone has said, it's like he's dual wielding those two problems where, well, I'm a free speech guy and I know stuff and I'm informed and everything I say is actually very valid. But also, hey, I'm just a dumbass, you know, dude. Why do I have to be political?
Yeah.
I'm just like one of the fellas. You should vote for Trump because he's disrupting stuff. And like, that's edgy.
That's good.
And Biden's too old and Trump is young.
But the moment someone pays me to say something else,
Biden's
if it's
sick,
a good
dude.
enough amount, I'll do it.
Biden's fucking epic.
It's like, so then why would anyone trust you?
Because you
Your
say
word
that
ever.
like trans people are lying or something. Like that's the answer always boils down to that. It's like target an enemy that I am afraid of and I'll be on your side.
But let's hear the rest of what he says.
Because maybe he's right.
There is a hat that is a bunch of American flags.
It's gaudy as fuck.
It's like they're not in any sort of rhyme or reason.
You know,
It's
one
like
thing,
spaghetti.
as a child growing up in Arizona, one thing that I always was like confused by is, isn't that disrespectful to the flag? Aren't you
mean-
supposed to not alter it?
It depends on your race.
Look the other way. That's a 4-word sentence that people don't do anymore. Look the other way. If something bad
don't
is
do it
happening
anymore?
to your left, look to your right. If, for example,
he
I'm at
promoting
a
it?
breakfast and I see someone get grabbed and they start hitting them with that, you know, that big stick. I don't know if it's bamboo or whatever it is. It's kind of a wood.
Any
but it kind of
stick.
snaps back. It's perfect for a cane.
Wait.
Even a switch.
Wait, what sort of is he talking about? Like a baton of a police officer, or is he talking about like a switch or something?
I don't
know.
Also, why does he care? He's being sober. So
Is
he's
he
like,
about to talk about how he like looks away because it's none of his business?
Yeah, you don't know the context. Right. Let's find out.
If I see someone getting it, I will look the other way. Okay?
Why?
If I look the other way and I see someone being behanded, meaning they're chopping a hand off, that might be interesting to just kind of see actually how they do it. 'Cause I think they do
Hilarious.
it kind of a sanitary way.
Epic.
But from what I've heard, you know, if they're chopping a hand, I might look down. And if I'm looking at the floor
it's like a
and
nursery
I see
rhyme.
some eyeless beggar grabbing at me trying to get my money,
Wait,
I
can
will
we
look
pause?
up.
If he is in the situation that he's hypothetically described, he's describing a situation where the world is closing in around him. At every direction, there's something horrible happening, and instead of getting out of there, he is just looking in a different direction.
This is like a Grimm's fairy tale of
Yeah,
like
there's a zombie. There's someone being beheaded.
Climbing inside
what would
a
you
witch's
do?
oven.
Well, I would look up. I'd probably leave.
I would say, what the hell is going on?
I'd probably say, what the hell is even that?
Which is, to be fair, the paranoid worldview of a lot of these guys is that actually in every direction people are trying to get me. Over there are trans people that hate me. Over there are black people
He
stealing
did
my
say
stuff.
a blind beggar trying to get my money.
Right, I said zombie, which what he did,
is what he's evoking.
which is what he's evoking because they're doing this from the ground, which is not. But I don't know why he said what he said. Like I don't even know how to describe that other than like a really weird.
Well,
like,
it
classic
makes me
thing
think
to
of a
say.
video game.
Yeah.
It's probably because I'm playing Silent Hill F right now, but it's because like if something horrible's happening over here and I just look away,
You die.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm trying to describe here. This guy would be horrible at time crisis.
Just pressing the thing down and staying
Yeah, he
under
just
the-
looks down. He's like, "Oh God, there's people shooting at me from every direction. Time to look away."
This isn't fair. This is prejudice in some way.
This is like so unbelievably outrageous that it almost feels like parody.
I don't. Oh yeah. I guess let's find out what's up.
And if in the heavens I see a drone flying over, I will look the other way.
You're running out
Which
of
one?
ways.
Back.
That doesn't make none of his argument makes
No.
any sense, and he's running out of ways to look.
Yeah. So now you're gonna look at the hand being cut off again.
He's like, okay, well, I'll go back to looking at the guy being beaten because that's the lesser of all
Yeah.
evils.
I gotta say, look, we've all been here. You started a point that you thought might lead somewhere. You got 2/3 through the first sentence, realized you had nowhere to go, pivoted, looked the other way, if you will, to maybe making a different point. And then I look down and there's a blind beggar. And when you think about it, that's basically Saudi.
maybe what he's saying, and maybe I'm giving him too much credit, is that the world is just absolute garbage.
He's doing
So
nihilist,
just do
defense.
whatever.
Yeah,
you
I think that's what he's
can.
trying to do, which is like everything's bad everywhere. So who am I to judge?
Which
Yeah.
is not.
That's not
and here's
true.
the thing again. Fine. If you want to co-sign that ideology, again, you discredit commentary.
Yeah.
You can't do both. You can't be smug about a political victory and say that the political system is broken. You can appreciate a result. You can't be like, we fucking won, dude. Yes, Trump is in office. And that shit, why are you talking about this? That shit doesn't matter.
Well, it's also like, to go back to like, well, couldn't you say the same thing about the states? When people align themselves with the government, I also think that's a red flag, regardless of who is in office.
Yeah, but-
because
Yeah.
it's just a very weird.
You're not a
it's a
critical
weird
thinker, probably.
vibe. It's
You are looking the other way for
Yeah.
something. And like, you're right that he's doing like, who even fucking cares? Who gives a shit? But they're all still too proud to actually say that. Like
Right.
real nihilism is going like, yeah, I know, oopsie daisy. Instead, he's doing like, no, it doesn't matter, who cares? But also, stop yelling at me, please. I'm online and I'm upset. Very Reddit.
There's a few seconds left. Let's see if he can land this plane.
Let's see if these 12 seconds he makes a really good
and
point.
I look up and I see a plane landing, and then I look the other way.
Oh no.
Because I'm being paid enough money to look the other way. What don't you understand? What is so complicated? I'm the only honest person just going to do it.
I think we pointed out our issue with what he said, which is that his even his analogy doesn't make any sense.
Or it's like, I do think one of the most corrosive things, most corrosive thing about this like silly myth of modern day philosopher comedians, they think in a different way. It's like, no, they're just so insecure that they are constantly thinking. It's not like they're thinking about a completely irrelevant bullshit, so they think they're a genius. Not like these fucking doctors. Not like these lazy doctors. But like, one of the most corrosive things about that myth is that it makes these people too proud. It gives them too much like self-esteem about how clever they are.
Yeah.
And then it gets questioned like, well, it seems like you're kind of uninformed about this at the very least. So he can't say nothing. He just can't.
Yeah.
He has to say something. His pride is too big. But he also can't say that it's good because then he's not informed. So he has to just say, I'm bad and that's okay.
I'm playing 5D chess actually, and you don't understand.
You don't get it.
What did Bill Burr say?
I'm
Jesus!
so curious about this because
What's the deal with this?
Bill Burr is also someone who is
He's a little more like, I think
social commentator.
I think
Yeah.
Bill Burr might be the only, at least historically, the only real centrist in that
Yeah.
he is only the thing he says he believes, which has gone both ways.
Also, can I say that the title of this is Football Sunday, Middle East, Project Bluebeam, like just
East.
sandwiching it in there.
Yeah, he did a compliment sandwich of topics.
And it's just the Middle East, the whole region.
Jesus, the Middle East. Why is it so dry here?
That was like Bill Burr and Morty.
Oh boy, Rick.
Oh, jeez.
You know, I don't know what's going to happen here. And like my whole fucking idea of Saudi Arabia is what I've seen like on the news. I literally think I'm going to fucking land, you know, and everybody's going to be screaming, death to America. And they're going to have like fucking machetes and want to like chop my head off, right? Because this is what I've been fed.
Oh, sorry, pause for a sec. That's
That's
not what you've been fed about.
That's
Saudi
like
Arabia.
that's like what you've been fed in like September 12th, 2001.
Well,
You've been
also-
fed that about Afghanistan, and you've kind of just kind of slotted them in. He's seeing them as like Arizona and Nevada.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's like
Did you say Arab Zona, the Arab Zone.
Yeah, Hassan's house got him.
I do think he is, again, the title is the Middle East.
Yeah.
So he has
like
no
putting
idea
everything.
what
Country,
differences there
the
are.
Middle East.
Yeah.
It's like, what was it? How do I get out of Africa? Or whatever. How do I escape Africa?
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Is that what she
yeah.
said?
How do we leave
Those girls,
Africa?
did you watch them actually
They
go to
went back,
Tunisia,
right?
by the way?
They did end up going to
They
Tunisia.
did end up going to, like, on a vacation
Did they
On
like
purpose.
it?
on purpose.
What'd
We
they think?
can talk
maybe we'll
about it
check out
later.
a lot
They were
later.
scared.
Fucking machetes and want to like chop my head off, right? Because this is
no,
what
but
I've been.
the thing is, what you've also been fed on the news is that the Crown Prince is associated with the chopping head off of journalists who are critical. Some of whom may even be American citizens, which is like
It's different if they're like the citizenry or something. Like if it's the government, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's like, I don't.
It's the law. I just also don't believe you, man. Like
I don't
that's
believe him
not.
either.
It's Homeland is not about like if that's really what he's talking about. If he's talking about like Black Hawk Down, that's not. They don't land at the Saudi royal palace and they'll be like,
Like,
oh,
yeah, do
run.
you like? Does he have any idea how like Richie Rich that like their experience is gonna be? Like, probably not. Where it's just like literally you're gonna land in like an all gold fucking airport runway.
A gilded mattress?
Yeah, and be shuttled into the like most ornate situation.
It's gonna be like arriving in Valhalla.
Yeah.
We're flying over it. It's nothing but like these long roads and sand. It's like nothing.
Wait, did he go? Is this like did they go negotiating or something or?
I don't know. Maybe he's been before.
Because I was gonna say
this.
he's like jumping like tenses where I'm like not sure now what he's talking
It
about.
sounds like he has been to Saudi Arabia before.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's talking about his experience going to the comedy festival.
When was the comedy?
Oh, it
It's
already
currently happening.
Oh,
It's like this whole week.
I see.
We missing it?
We're missing it.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I get myself into? And then we land.
What's with these roads?
And now here we are, right? And
Yeah.
we end up driving into town.
Type shit.
It's a city, everything, right?
Dude, crazy.
Who would have thought they had
Who would have
cities?
thought?
Me going to Massachusetts? The hell?
They got
The same kind of person that thinks all of Africa is just like
right.
Oh, yeah.
people
The
living in
jungle,
huts
dude.
in
Yeah,
the
it's like
jungle
tribes
and-
people.
Yeah.
Africa, comma, the jungle. That's the
Yeah.
like country.
Right.
Oh yeah, what did they keep saying in that? The girls that got lost, they kept saying like,
Tunis, Africa.
Yeah.
Tunis, Africa. Yeah.
And everybody's just regular. They're dressed different, but they're regular. Like people just shooting the shit. Hey, how you doing? You know, welcome. We're saying, hey, we know we're happy to be here. And we're driving around, and then I'm just like going like, I thought this place was gonna be like really tense.
Well,
And I'm thinking like,
It is for some
it's
people.
you aren't seeing it by design.
That's crazy. Like, did not a single Google search? Okay.
So I land and I meet this guy, Kim Jong Il, right? And we're going along, and all the buildings look nice.
death to America.
And all these buildings, they're like, none of the windows have interiors.
They're pristine buildings on the outside.
Everything's really nice. There's one road, and it goes from the airport to the palace.
Is it? God, there's so many. Okay, continue, Mr. Bill.
is that a Starbucks? Next to a Pete's Coffee?
Right.
Next to a Burger King? Next to a McDonald's? Next to a
Hyatt Sorry,
Pizza
This
Hut?
is like a child leaving the country.
Yeah.
Truly, yeah.
Like this is. I didn't leave the country until I was an adult, but like that is like how I was like, wow, they have Burger King here in Spain. That was my actual experience when I was 22.
I totally roasted someone I knew when I did my study abroad.
His name was
in-
Coffee Bean.
Yeah, his name was Grungus.
She totally roasted him, grinded him, and brewed his ass.
When I did my study abroad in Leeds,
Hello.
someone I knew came to visit and said, "Wow, the ketchup tastes slightly different here," and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like you're like it. He just was like so in awe of like they have ketchup. It tastes
Yeah.
slightly different, and I'm like, "Does it? It's same. It's Heinz. Like, what are you talking about?
You don't understand the subtle nuances of a Kit Kat tasting different regionally. Clearly.
Yeah.
No, but
supply chains, supply
being
chain.
an American, being in awe that something exists in another country.
Right.
Especially
Very
something
old
like
key.
McDonald's. That's everywhere.
Yeah.
McDonald's is famously everywhere. That's like their thing. Maybe, but not in the movies.
Yeah, it's like the classic thing. It's like some things you hear about. Like you go to Japan, you're like, wow, 7-Eleven, crazy over there. Huh?
What does he think? Like,
I'm learning he doesn't.
what does he think? Where does he think the wars happen? What at? Like, where do the people come from? Like, they're like Urukai? They're just like dug out of the mud, and they're like, Death to America now, I guess. It's like,
You know,
Genuinely, probably, yeah.
kinda, yeah. They're
but
spawned.
also, this also feels like a lie.
I know.
This
a
feels like
push, yeah.
him being like, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I had no idea what
what's
this
the-
country was even like.
He said a lot of informed shit in the past. And
Right,
his-
that's the weird.
That's the weird thing
What's
about
the my brain doesn't work today. Basketball player who, Pat. No, his name starts with a P, and he is known for being a defender and loud and boisterous.
Oh, yes. Patrick Beverly.
Yeah. Patrick Beverly, his he's like playing in Israel right now, and signed like after it was front page of American news. You know what I mean? Like October 7th. It's like obviously like Israel's atrocities in Gaza have gone back a very, very, very long time.
But have been downplayed in the West for a long time.
Right. And so then now it's like it is easily accessible, like what's going on.
Unavoidable.
And then he's like, he even said like, if I see a bomb, I'm out of there.
I think so. I think his first, he already signs the papers. And then I think he tweeted something like, wait, Tel Aviv's in Israel and that's in the Middle East. Like, I don't know if this is honest or not. Maybe he was telling a little joke or something, but he pretended like he thought he was going to Europe.
Well, that is funny because Israel likes to cosplay sometimes as being
As in
a
Europe.
European
It
country.
is not in. That's the thing. When they say Middle East, he's not like. Did any part of him be like, yeah, I thought I'd land and I'd see a Jewish guy?
You know what?
Nope, that's normal.
The FIBA tournament, the basketball tournament, Tel Aviv does play in that. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why he thought it was in Europe.
Right. No, because then also there's a lot of there's just a soccer tournament. I think there's a European Cup thing, and Israel was like originally competing in that, and so like there's a lot of things like that where it's like no, we're like a blue chip Middle
whitelisted,
Eastern
yeah, don't
place.
worry
Like
about
we're
it.
whitelisted as like Europe. It's like the
Pre-check.
right because everyone's perception of Middle East is what Bill Burr is talking about.
Which is like their perception of the community and peoples that have done nothing bad are the ones that have been like laundered into actually being Death to America orcs. Like they're just not people, they're just like dangerous people that blow stuff up for no reason. And the
You look
civilized
down, it's a
areas.
blind homeless guy,
Look out.
zombie or whatever.
And then there's like, thankfully, the civilized government that has done nothing.
It's like a little bit. Can you believe it's civilized? But then it's like, what do you think is like? It's
Where
just,
do you think the buildings came from? They
It's-
didn't arrive blown up. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But they just did. It's like a Call of Duty map. Like it started like that.
so annoying? Okay, continue.
But I honestly, I do think you're right. This is a little.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a act he's putting on, but
Just a
we'll
guy
see.
from
Let's see what he
Boston.
says.
Next to a Dunkin' Donuts, next to a Krispy
that's not
Kreme, next to a
brands.
Cheesecake Factory, next to a KFC, next to a
More?
Chili's. They got a fucking Chili's over here. Then we go into the mall because I want to get my kids something. There was a Timberland store. I could have bought Timberlands like I was in Brooklyn, New York.
so has he like never been? He's been to another.
He's been to other
Anywhere.
countries.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you go to a mall. It like a lot of malls are like that. Yeah, man.
Malls are that's by design. They're
Yeah,
global.
that's kind of how they operate.
I went to
brother.
the Westfield in West London. I went to the Westfield in San Francisco.
Oh
Same
my
logo.
God. Remember that London mall that was the
Inescapable.
size of a
Escape from?
city?
Yeah.
Terrifying.
horrifying, dude. I got claustrophobia. I was not sure how to escape.
It's like being in a huge coffin.
I think it's how like a mouse feels when they're in any house.
Like a maze.
They
Yeah.
leave their little hole and they go, "Oh my god."
Whoa,
It's like I didn't leave.
And they find a sausage roll and they're like, "Oh, good."
I didn't leave like a trail of sand or whatever to be able to follow my tracks backward to find my way home.
This long ribbon going from the Airbnb through the mall.
I want to stress that if people aren't familiar with Bill Burr, he is not only a very famous comedian who has been performing for, I don't know, since the 90s at least.
Yeah, he's been famous
also
and
an
rich
actor
for a long time.
He's now a very successful actor.
Who has been in stuff like
The Mandalorian?
Breaking Bad and Mandalorian. He's definitely acted in other countries, filmed in other countries. So
I do wonder if this would be, obviously it would make sense in the same context, but if this were not comedy and whatever the event is instead being co-signed by Austin Butler. It's going for a press tour about something. Oh, not even a press tour, because you could excuse that as part of a tour, but he's going there to do a live performance of Elvis or something. I wonder if people would be as rightly outraged, because I feel like actors get a bit more abstracted.
yeah,
An actor's a property. It's not a person, but a comedian. They're the only real philosophers. Or
Right.
something.
And then there's advertisement for boxing and fucking Formula One and MotoGP and golf and all of this stuff. And I was like, oh. And then it just struck me as funny. It's they're eating this shit too. They're going to have to get some bigger fucking clothes. They're going to end up looking like us. So.
They're not all gold, You have to work out the bad jokes, find the good ones.
Comedians have always pushed the boundaries. And this was a classic case. I guess this is tipping the cap to the people that set up the festival over there.
I thought this was going to be him defending himself, but this is more
he's changing the narrative entirely.
he's changing the narrative.
Hey, let me
dude.
say anything I want.
Dude, he's actually pushing boundaries as a comedian. He's saying that
Throw it
This is bringing the world together. It sounds
Right.
like he's saying we're
to
not
Shane?
so different, us and them.
we've all got KFC.
We all got KFC.
Even the Middle East appreciates comedy.
Even the Middle East in the
Even those animals abroad.
even the most specifically, I don't even know how to describe it. It's an artificial city thing where it's
It's universal.
don't look behind door number 1.
Yes, yeah,
because
yeah.
you're gonna find a lot of very unscrupulous,
He's on the
unsavory things.
Fresh Prince set, and he's like, "You think there'd be 4 walls? There's
Yeah.
one where a bunch of people are sitting. It's crazy."
And the fact that he's I want to tip my cap to whoever set up it's the Crown Prince.
Why do you think the Royals are there, bro?
Just a big fan, man. They love Boston,
Dude, but that's the thing. It's once you're
Why
already
do they like Bill Burr?
but they've never heard it. They don't like any.
Okay.
They like drinking plasma from children. I don't know. Don't turn
right.
off the power.
the Saudi royal fund thing has is invested everywhere too. It's buying up so much stuff.
He's like, "There's F1. There's soccer.
Yeah,
there's
it
golf."
makes sense that there's F1 billboards because they do massive races.
It's for people saying that, this is, I said it's all for the poster. This is what it's for. I don't think it's a coincidence that a lot of the people, basically everyone on the board, is either very famous and has a podcast, or very famous so much that the podcast doesn't matter, or small and has a podcast.
But it's how can you be such a I'm pushing boundaries when you realize that if anyone criticizes literally you were given a list of boundaries you couldn't push.
Yeah.
And then if anyone there criticizes the royal family or whatever, they're going to be
There's a chance you won't get out of there alive.
yeah.
Okay, here's how it goes, right? I am Bill Burr's agent. I secure some kind of contract, don't redline it because I don't want to get killed, and then I send it to Bill Burr's management. Bill Burr's management opens the DocuSign for him after he says, yes, I'll do it, signs it, does not read him any of the details because he doesn't want to hear them, who would? And then on the flight or in an email says, heads up, don't make too many jokes about the royal family because that'll be a little weird. Just stick to your normal hour. Problem solved. Problem solved. What's going to happen?
I mean, that does all make sense. It's it requires
just so much of I guess at the state. I mean, I don't want to defend him either, but like it's like at the stage that he's at, so much of this stuff is automatic, and why would this be any different? But also, if you have these questions about where you're traveling to, like take a little
read the contract.
Take a little look. Not even read the contract. Google.
Do everything.
Saudi Arabia controversy? Question mark.
I do that all the time. Like if I'm like, has this actor ever had anything weird? And I just put their name in controversy.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia trust pilot.
Yeah. Ooh. You know what? I'll even give you the green light. You can use ChatGPT. You can say, hey, why might people be upset if I did this?
Check with Grok and it'll say they won't.
And I'm Mecca
It's
God.
good, and you should do stuff.
You can go on TikTok and look up just that actor's name, and under the first video, any video you click on, it'll say blank controversy.
But what if I did nothing? But like posted. I still tweet about like cancel culture or something.
All right, let's keep going. I'm kind of very curious.
By the way, if cancel culture exists, then what the hell do you call Louis doing this show?
Louis has never been canceled. That guy has made so much. He freaking sold out Madison Square Garden several nights in a row. Like,
the thing is,
he's fine.
I don't particularly care. Like, as far as like, I'm not a litigator. You know, it's like whatever. I don't like what he did, and also I don't care if people buy tickets or something. The impact on his financials is not the thing that bothers me. It's the fact that he has such a unacknowledged platform and that people are willing to look the other way.
That people consider him some kind of like sad martyr.
Yeah, but if he was
freedom
like
of speech,
confidently like, hey, I fucked up in this way, this bad, there's no bullshit here, then it's like, okay, well, I don't know. I'm not trying to get him executed. I just think it's silly to write they're all
to say that he's been canceled.
Well, they're all saying looking the other way is somehow virtuous. I didn't know.
I certainly can't. I'm like, we can't travel to Riyadh now.
The fuck?
About what you could say and what you couldn't say in Saudi Arabia, the people running the festivals will be like, all right, well, man, that's game, set, match. If this is like all you can talk about and you want some good comedians, like this isn't going to work. And then to their credit, they said, all right, what do we got to do? And they just negotiated it all the way down to like, you can talk about anything, you know, other than a couple things, which was basically, you know, religion, don't make fun of the royals. And other than that, it was everything
Fucking knew it.
Was like open.
Fucking knew it. That's the slip, man, because he doesn't know anything about Saudi culture. So it doesn't matter to that part of it, who fucking cares. And he doesn't know anything about religion, so they don't need to mention
I
that.
don't know. He's joked about religion in general.
In the abstract. And also like
but not,
Catholicism, something with a reference point. But like, and he's done edgy material.
It's like, it's so tricky because like the royals, it's like a little bit different than saying like Prince Harry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
they're actually royals.
Because and that's the thing. It's like a lot of dark stuff goes back to like MBS, for example. And
it's like saying the royals in the UK are they're essentially Madame Tussauds. Like you go there to see a funny little figure you've seen from movies.
But it for an audience, it like makes it sound like we can't say anything about the plushies. Like who even cares? They're so harmless.
Don't make fun of the Labubus. They're sat in the front row or whatever.
So everything was open except for what?
Just a couple things.
Except for the big thing.
Except for the big things
except for
one
the things
might criticize.
Yeah, because a lot of the things that you might criticize, where do they go back to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like being like in America, you could like talk about like anything except for the government, the things the government does, the laws that they have.
Imagine the outrage they'd supposedly have if when they do those White House shows, it's you can't make fun of Trump. Imagine. Well, they wouldn't say anything.
I mean, now you can't make fun of Trump.
But like,
that's the rule.
I mean, yeah, the truth is you never could, and you can't really do. There is there actually isn't freedom of speech. But I'm not talking about saying the R slur.
Seth Meyers tried, and and look what happened. He created a monster.
And then in my head, I'm like, well, I got this bit about going to my gym, and there was a bunch of gay guys there. I don't know about this, right? So
sounds like a dynamite bit.
What is going to happen when I go out there and I do my shit. Everybody's like, no, just do your shit. Do your shit. Just don't talk about those two things. I'm like, I can talk about, yeah, it's going to be fine. I'm like, it's going to be, it's going to be fine, right?
Pause this. I've never listened to this show before. I don't need to simulate talking to someone else in a shared Uber ride. I do not need to like dedicate my time to someone just rambling about their personal experiences that I have no interest in. What a crazy thing to listen to every week.
Right, so I'm standing there, I'm waiting to go on, and somebody from the crowd sees me. You know? And he's dressed all in their traditional shit, right? And he just goes, hey, Bill Burr, I love you. Kick ass, man. And I could just feel, I'm like, these fucking people, the people, okay, they want a fucking show. You could feel it. I was talking to the other comics. You could feel it. They wanted you to push, right? It was really fucking exciting. So I go up on stage, and I start doing my shit, and they're fucking into it.
But essentially, he's saying they didn't censor me at all. It is freedom of speech because I did my whole act. And they loved it.
But it's also like, you're a famous guy. They're paying millions of dollars to be there.
But also, your part of your act is not criticizing
it's like you didn't have
issues.
You don't
in
have
Saudi
a
Arabia.
human rights violations bit.
Nor did you try to do one.
Dude, do you guys remember when my favorite Bill Maher, New Rule, when he posted one of his tedious opening monologues was all about how he had dinner with Trump?
Oh.
He got dinner with Trump, this is a few months ago, and the whole time he's just, you know, he's a supposedly, air quotes, moderate lib, and so is always espousing, like, woke is dangerous, but we gotta listen to both sides. But this Trump clown, he's a clown in Congress, you know, he's the philosophically free fucking grifter freak. But, New Rule, he posted this thing, and the whole monologue is laundering Trump. The whole time he's like, he laughs. I've never seen him laugh before. He really laughs.
He's like doing it, like he saw what happened to Jimmy Fallon, who like ruffled up his hair.
And he's just like,
and then he's like, what if I just slobbed on his knob a little bit?
Crazy. Like, the whole thing is insane. And then Larry David, for I think it was New York Times, possibly the Washington Post, wrote an article called My Dinner with Hitler.
Oh my God.
And just parodied the whole thing. Bill Maher, obviously very funny guy, can take a joke, got extremely upset, and then talked about Larry David in the next monologue. Normal guy. But it has like, suggest other people go watch it. It's kind of long and it's tedious, and Bill Maher's freakish. He looks like he's made of wax. But there is, the tone feels exactly the same. Where like, you know, Bill Maher's doing a pseudo-intellectual voice, New Rule, and Bill Burr is, I'm just a fucking guy. But they're saying the same thing, which is, you know, you'd think these people would be objectionable. But after getting paid a lot of money and spending time with them, I actually found out that they were people. Can you believe that? They laughed at jokes.
It's like, imagine you're doing comedy for Trump in his cabinet and some other like world leaders, and then they have some select God-fearing citizens in the crowd. It's like, can you believe it? Everybody loved my comedy.
What was the deal with that? And it's like, what? The people that came to the show you're putting on watched the show? That's good.
It's like he was concerned about all the wrong stuff.
Was he expecting all of the royals and the diplomats to be sat there stone-faced? Well, kind of, because they aren't people. Like, people in other countries are like, you know, to a lot of Americans, kind of like not subhuman, but alt-human. Other kind of people. You know, they do comedy in Japan? I thought they just did business.
Oh, that's crazy.
I thought they did samurai stuff.
They wear their little suits just like we do.
God, it's so crazy, man.
Americans, what are you going to do with them?
What's the
What are you
deal?
gonna do?
Dude, we completely forgot to do your Type 5 stand-up on political stuff and free speech.
Oh. Well, I have a list of topics that I'm not allowed to talk about. So
Right.
instead, I'm just going to have to go cocky, go boing boing.
Okay, but boom, boom, boom.
Bubba booey.
Maybe we'll do it over on Sad Boyz Nightz.
Oh, on Sad Boyz Nightz, Mr. Beast set a man ablaze. Or sorry, that's not exactly true.
He did his best.
No, Mr. Beast put a man in a situation where he could be set ablaze.
Yes.
For
But we will be talking about that. Anything you look the other way. We'll be talking about that over on patreon.com/sadboys with a Z. For $5 and $5 only, you can sign up and listen to the entire archive of Sad Boyz Nightz, our Patreon on the podcast.
They're not supposed to know that.
but only if you use your discretionary spending. You are not obliged to do so. We appreciate you listening and watching either way. I, on Sad Boyz Nightz, will be telling a story that I'm telling on Sad Boyz Nightz because it's something that happened 2 days ago, something an Uber Eats driver said to me that made me, I was stunned and then later laughed, but it's not, that my gut is telling me to not say it on a public platform.
Oh, no. What is this going to be?
I'm intrigued.
Maybe me even laughing at it is bad.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, I'll be telling that over there, and then I guess we'll see Mr. Beast immolate.
No, he's just burning a building, and a guy's got to escape from a chair.
I'm just shooting bullets. You should have dodged him.
He's got to dodge him slow-mo style. Was this good? Was this bad? Sorry, I guess. We end every episode of podcasts. We end every pod of sad cast with a particular boys.
We dove new.
And wasabi. Bada boom.
Gucci girl, how you doing? How you moving, girl? Moving, girl. How's your day looking? That future girl, yeah, we on now. Take my money, go away, all you want it. Get you rich from me.